Jae-sung has ordered 23 executions in his 10-year career as Seoul's most dangerous crime boss. But right now, at 4:30 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon in his private music room, he's listening to something more devastating than death. He's listening to his nephew play piano again. Min-jun hasn't played music in 6 months. Not since he watched his mother, Jae-sung's younger sister, Yoon-mi-young, get shot 3 times in the chest during what was supposed to be a safe family dinner at their Hannam-dong mansion. Not since he stopped speaking entirely, stopped eating properly, stopped being the bright, brilliant 10-year-old piano prodigy who once performed Rachmaninoff Prelude in C-sharp minor for the president of South Korea at the Blue House. But right now, Min-jun's small hands move across the Bösendorfer grand piano keys with surgical precision. Chopin's Nocturne in E-flat major, Op. 9 No. 2. The piece his mother loved most. Every note perfect, every pause pregnant with memory. And beside him on the piano bench sits Joan Williams. She's been Min-jun's music teacher for exactly 3 weeks. Black woman, 27 years old. Natural hair in 2 neat braids. Wearing simple black jeans and a cream sweater. Her employment agency called her a classically trained pianist from abroad, experienced with traumatized children. Jae-sung hired her out of desperation. She was the 12th teacher he'd tried in 6 months, and the only one who didn't quit after Min-jun threw a music stand at her on day 2. Right now, Joan isn't playing. She sits with her hands folded in her lap, watching Min-jun with quiet reverence. Like this moment is sacred. Like she's witnessing a resurrection. Min-jun finishes. His hands hover over the keys. The final chord fades into silence. Then he turns to Joan, opens his mouth, and speaks. "Iyama taught me this song." His first words in 6 months. Joan's eyes fill with tears, but she blinks them back, nods gently. She had beautiful taste. "Do you want to play it again?" Min-jun nods, starts over from the beginning. Jae-sung's hand tightens on the mahogany door frame until his knuckles whiten. This stranger, this piano teacher, has done what 6 child psychologists, 4 trauma specialists, his entire security team, and Jae-sung's own desperate nightly readings from Harry Potter, even when Min-jun stared silently at the ceiling, couldn't accomplish. But as Joan reaches to turn the sheet music page, Jae-sung sees her hands clearly in the golden afternoon light. Pianist hands should be soft, elegant, manicured. Joan's hands have scars, faded knife wounds across the knuckles, calluses on the wrong fingers, not from piano keys, but from gripping weapons. Index finger on her right hand slightly crooked, like it was broken and healed wrong. Those aren't musician's hands, those are a soldier's hands. Welcome to Soul Heart Stories, fam. Before we go further, have you ever seen someone bring light back to a broken child? Drop your story in the comments. I read everyone. Hit like if you're hooked on this mystery. Let's continue. 6 months earlier, Yoon-mi-young was cooking kimchi jjigae in her Hannam-dong kitchen when the first bullet came through the window. She'd sent Jae-sung away 3 hours earlier. "Go handle your business, Appa. Min-jun has a recital tomorrow. We need normal tonight." Rival faction hitmen from the Hassan group. 6 of them, professional. They didn't come for money or territory. They came to send a message. Min-jun witnessed everything from the top of the stairs. His mother grabbing a kitchen knife, fighting back, taking down one attacker before the second bullet hit her chest. The third. The fourth. She died with her arms wrapped around the knife, staring up the stairs at her son, mouthing "run." Min-jun didn't run. He froze. 10 years old, world-famous piano prodigy, reduced to a silent, hollow shell. Overnight. Jae-sung arrived 18 minutes later. Found his sister dead on the kitchen floor. Min-jun catatonic on the stairs, clutching a single Chopin score. The hitmen were gone. Message received. 3 weeks ago. Jae-sung's private study. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Han River. 12 failed music teacher's files were scattered across his desk. Min-jun hadn't spoken since the murder. Hadn't played real music. Just sat at the piano, pressing single keys like he was testing if sound still existed. His assistant entered. "The agency sent another candidate, sir. Last one this month. Send her away. They all fail. She's different. Nigerian, plays Chopin, Liszt, and even Korean traditional music flawlessly. References from traumatized children cases." Jae-sung sighed. 5 minutes. If Min-jun doesn't attack her, she stays. Joan's audition. She entered the music room wearing a simple black dress, pants, a white blouse, and hair in braids. No makeup, no jewelry. Carried a single folder, her forged credentials from Lagos Music Conservatory. Min-jun sat at the piano, back to her, staring at his hands. Joan didn't speak, didn't introduce herself. Walked straight to the Bösendorfer, sat beside him, not too close. Open to Chopin's Nocturne Op. 9, number 2, the exact piece his mother died protecting. She played the first 8 bars. Perfect tempo, perfect phrasing. Then stopped, looked at Min-jun's hands. "You're pressing too hard on the F-sharp. It muddies the harmony." Min-jun didn't move, didn't look up. Joan played the passage again, demonstrated the lighter touch, stopped again. "Your left hand needs to breathe, like this." She waited. 30 seconds passed. A minute. Jae-sung was about to call security. Min-jun's right index finger twitched, moved to the F-sharp, pressed it, lighter this time. The note rang clear. Joan nodded once, didn't smile, didn't praise. Just turned the page. They played together like that for 17 minutes. No words, no eye contact, just music. Jae-sung watched from the doorway, frozen. This wasn't teaching, this was communication. First week. Joan came daily, sat beside Min-jun, played phrases, waited for him to copy. He never spoke, never looked at her, but he played. Second week. He started correcting her, silently, pointing at the music when she played a note wrong, tapping rhythms on the bench when her tempo drifted. Third week. Yesterday he spoke. Last night. Jae-sung read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Chapter 12 to Min-jun's empty stare, like every night for 6 months. When he finished, Min-jun didn't react, but he slept through the night for the first time. No nightmares, no waking up screaming, "Yoma!" This morning, Jae-sung found Chopin's Nocturne score on the piano, open to the exact page where Min-jun spoke. Present day, Jae-sung's surveillance room. 5:15 p.m. Ji-hoon, Jae-sung's head of intelligence, pulls up Joan's file on 3 monitors simultaneously. Joan Williams, 27, freelance musician, Lagos Music Conservatory, class of 2021, performed with Lagos Philharmonic, specialized in working with traumatized children, South African passport, Korean work visa valid 18 months, clean background. Jae-sung stubs out his cigarette. Too clean. Ji-hoon nods. Exactly. Her first 3 years at the conservatory, excellent reviews. Then suddenly she's freelance internationally. No digital footprint, no social media, no competition entries, no recitals, vanishes. Keep going. Arrived in Seoul 6 weeks ago, lived in a Hongdae Goshiwon, cheap, cash only, no ID required. Applied to 5 music agencies on day 1. Yours accepted her, she's been nowhere else. Jae-sung watches the audition footage. Joan entering the music room. Her posture, too upright, too controlled. The way she scans corners before sitting. The way she positions herself with clear sight lines to both doors. Her hands, Jae-sung says quietly. Ji-hoon zooms in on the piano footage. Joan's fingers close up. Knife scars across knuckles. Trigger calluses on index and middle fingers. Crooked right index finger. No pianist has hands like that, Ji-hoon confirms. Those are combat hands. Her accent, Jae-sung continues. Not South African, Yoruba undertones, Nigerian, but her passport says South African. Why lie? Ji-hoon pulls up immigration records. She flew into Incheon from Manila. Before that, Bangkok, Istanbul. No pattern, tourist visas everywhere. She's running. Jae-sung lights another cigarette. From who? Unknown, but her conservatory classmates. 2 died in a car accident 14 months ago. The 3rd went missing. All 3 were scheduled to perform with her at a benefit concert for... Ji-hoon pauses. West African diplomats. Jae-sung's hand tightens on his glass. Keep digging. I want her real name by tomorrow. Ji-hoon hesitates. Sir, if she's dangerous... She's not a threat to Min-jun. She's healing him. Jae-sung exhales smoke. But I need to know what she's running from before it follows her here. That evening, music room. Joan arrives for her 6 p.m. lesson. Jae-sung watches from the study window as always. Min-jun is already at the piano. Today they're playing Debussy's Clair de Lune. Joan sits beside him, plays the famous arpeggio opening. Stops halfway through. Min-jun takes over seamlessly. His small hands dance across the keys. Joan watches, head tilted, listening. Jae-sung notices something new. When Min-jun plays the cascading triplets, Joan closes her eyes. Her lips move silently, counting rhythm, praying. Something deeper. When Min-jun finishes, Joan opens her eyes. Perfect. Your mother would be proud. Min-jun nods. Small, almost imperceptible. First time he's acknowledged his mother since the murder. Jae-sung's chest tightens. He steps back from the window before they see him watching. 13 months ago. Abuja, Nigeria. Diplomatic summit. Joan Williams wasn't always a music teacher. Her real name, Captain Joan Okoye. Nigerian Army Special Forces. PSYOPs specialist. Expert in breaking high-value targets through psychological manipulation. Used music therapy as her signature technique. Beethoven for German arms dealers, Fela Kuti for corrupt politicians, Bach for ideologues. Music disarmed them, made them talk. That week in Abuja, she was embedded with Diplomatic Protection Unit. Target, North Korean defector carrying evidence of uranium enrichment for African terror groups. Her job, extract intel during transport from the airport to the Blue House equivalent. The convoy never made it. Ambush on Airport Road. 6 armored SUVs. 50 mercenaries, Russian AKs, Chinese RPGs, professional fire teams. Joan was in the second vehicle. RPG hit the lead car. North Korean defector dead instantly. Her team leader, Captain Deal, shoved her into drainage ditch before taking 3 to the chest. Run, Joni! Last words he ever spoke. She ran. Survived. Because she's the best at surviving. But her entire 12-man team died. The defectors' intel burned. Uranium deal went through. North Korea armed Boko Haram proxy groups. 8 months running. Abuja, Lagos, Accra, Abidjan, Casablanca, Istanbul, Bangkok, Manila, Seoul. New identity every border crossing. Joan Okoye became Joan Williams in a Manila internet cafe. South African passport forged for $8,000. Music teacher backstory because her cover as a pianist was already established from PSYOPs work. Why music? Because it saved her. After the ambush, she couldn't sleep. Nightmares of Deal dying, screams of her team. Found a battered piano in Accra hostel. Played Chopin's Nocturne Op. 9. Number 2. The first real music she'd touched since West Point training. Slept through the night. Music became survival. Why Seoul? Perfect place to disappear. Foreigner population massive. Cash economy. Criminal underworld swallows people whole. Nobody looks for Nigerian. Special forces captains in K-pop obsessed megacity. Why Min-jun? In the first interview, she saw him at the piano, pressing single keys like testing reality. Recognized the trauma immediately. Identical to child soldiers she deprogrammed in Delta State. Knew she could reach him. One broken soul recognizing another. But every night in her Hongdae Goshiwon, burner phone beside her pillow, she checked dark web alerts. Her face was leaked after Abuja. $2 million bounty. Russian mercs, Chinese intelligence, African cartels. All wanted her silenced. Seoul was supposed to be safe. until Yoon Jae-sung's mansion became her workplace. Now his security cameras recorded her daily. His intelligence team was digging, and Min-jun was speaking again because of her. She was healing him, but exposure was inevitable. Last night, 2:17 a.m., text from unknown number on her burner. Nice piano student, cute kid, W500M or he stops breathing, 48 hours. Abuja. Attached photo. Min-jun. Leaving. Recital hall 3 years ago. Mi-young's arm around him. They'd found her. Week 3, day 19. Jae-sung's library. 9:47 p.m. Min-jun was asleep on the leather couch, Joan's sweater draped over him. First time he slept anywhere but his room since the murder. Joan sits cross-legged on the floor beside him, transcribing Korean folk song for tomorrow's lesson. Jae-sung enters quietly, carrying chamomile tea. He slept through chapter 17, Jae-sung says softly, setting tea beside her. The thief's downfall usually wakes at the basilisk's scream. Joan glances up, notices dark circles under his eyes. Unbuttoned dress shirt. First time she's seen him casual. Dragon tattoo visible on collarbone. He trusts you, Jae-sung continues. Won't let my guards touch him, screams if Ji-hoon gets within 3 feet, but you, walks right to you. Joan closes her notebook. Music speaks when words can't. He hears his mother in Chopin. In Debussy, you're giving him safe space to grieve. Jae-sung sits heavily on armchair across from her. First time they've spoken privately. You play like someone who's lost someone, he says quietly. Joan stiffens almost imperceptibly. Everyone loses someone. My sister read him that Chopin score every night before recitals. He was supposed to audition for Juilliard Korea next year. Jae-sung rubs temples. Now he won't leave this house. Joan studies him, sees exhaustion beneath the predator. He'll play in public again, when he's ready. Not for Juilliard, for Mi-young. Silence. Min-jun stirs, murmurs, Yama. Joan reaches instinctively and strokes his hair. He settles. Jae-sung watches her hands on his nephew. Scarred hands. Gentle touch. Contradiction fascinates him. Next morning, music room. Min-jun plays Liszt's La Campanella from memory. First time since the murder. Joan sits nearby, not interfering. When he finishes, she claps once. Quiet. Technical perfection. Now play it like you feel it. Min-jun frowns. Plays again. Adds rubato. More emotion. Jae-sung watches from the security feed in his office. Sees something new. Joan mouthing Korean lyrics silently as Min-jun plays Arirang variation. Cultural detail he'd missed. That afternoon, garden. Min-jun brings Joan wildflowers. Shyly offers them. First voluntary human contact since murder. She accepts gravely. For your next recital bouquet? He nods, almost smiles. Jae-sung witnesses from the terrace. Feels something shift inside. Gratitude, suspicion, attraction. Dinner that night. Min-jun sits beside Joan. Eats galbi without prompting. Talks about piano dynamics. Jae-sung records every word on phone under the table. First dinner conversation in 6 months. When Joan leaves at 9 p.m., Min-jun hugs her legs. Won't let go. Jae-sung has to peel him off gently. Tomorrow? Min-jun whispers. Tomorrow, Joan promises. Jae-sung watches her walk to the waiting car. Notices her scan perimeter twice before entering. Soldier's habit. His phone buzzes. Ji-hoon. Real name, Captain Joan Okoye. Nigerian Special Forces, PSYOPs, Abuja massacre sole survivor, $2 million bounty, threat level critical. Week 3, day 21. 6:32 p.m. music room, Joan arrives for lesson. Notices 2 new guards at gate. Jae-sung's Mercedes parked unusually close to house. Something's wrong. Min-jun waits at piano, agitated. Won't sit still. Joan starts lesson, Beethoven Sonata No. 8, Pathétique. First movement. He fumbles opening chords. Focus, Joan says gently. Breathe. Glass shatters downstairs. Jae-sung bursts through music room door, Glock in hand. Downstairs, now, panic room. Joan grabs Min-jun without hesitation, runs behind Jae-sung, drill-perfect formation. Her protecting child, him taking point. Safe room, reinforced steel. Monitors show 6 masked intruders downstairs. Kitchen entry, armed with suppressed MP5s. Professional, Jae-sung scans feeds. Hassang faction, retaliation for last week's shipment. Lies, Hassang doesn't use Eastern European weapons. Joan notices. Those are Zastava M92s, Serbian, not Hassang. Jae-sung glances sharply. You recognize them? She ignores the question, focuses on Min-jun trembling against her. Play your nocturne in your head. Count the beats. 1, 2, 3. Min-jun nods. Closes eyes. Fingers tap silent rhythm on her arm. Upstairs, Jae-sung's guards engage. Gunfire echoes through monitors. 2 guards down. Intruders systematic. Checking rooms. Avoiding art collection. Not theft. Assassination. Jae-sung grabs secure phone. Ji-hoon, extraction team, now. Joan's burner vibrates silently. Screen lights up. Wrong kid. W500M. 24 hours. Abuja. Photo attached. Joan hugging Min-jun yesterday. Garden flowers moment. Her blood turns to ice. Her past found her. Used Jae-sung's mansion as hunting ground. Alarms blare. Perimeter breach. 3 intruders now at 2nd floor. Jae-sung's 10 guards versus 6 pros, Nabras, even fight. Joan makes a decision. Stands. I can help. Jae-sung grabs her arm. Stay with Min-jun. No. She pulls concealed Glock 19 from ankle holster. Racks slide with practiced precision. I was trained for this. Let me. Jae-sung stares. Sees soldier, not teacher. Nods once. Safe room opens. Joan takes point. Jae-sung covers Min-jun. They move as unit toward sound of heaviest gunfire. Library firefight. 2 intruders cornered. Jae-sung's last 2 guards dead. Intruders spot them. Joan doesn't hesitate. Double tap center mass first target. Headshot second before body hits floor. 5 seconds total. Jae-sung stares at bodies. Cleanest kills he's ever seen. Silence. Rest of house clear. Jae-sung's backup arrives. 20 vehicles screeching up drive. Min-jun clings to Joan. You shot them. To protect you, she says simply. Jae-sung holsters weapon. Who trained you? Joan meets his eyes. Nigerian Army Special Forces. Truth hangs in blood-scented air. 10:47 p.m. Jae-sung's study. Bodies removed. Guards securing. Perimeter. Min-jun asleep in guest room under guard. Joan sits across massive oak desk from Jae-sung. Her Glock disassembled between them. Field stripped in 18 seconds when he demanded proof of training. Ji-hoon stands behind Jae-sung, tablet glowing with her real file. Captain Joan Okoye, Jae-sung begins. PSYOPs, Abuja diplomatic massacre, sole survivor, $2 million bounty from Russian mercs, Chinese intelligence, Boko Haram proxies. You walked into my house under forged papers. Joan sits straight. No apology. I needed to disappear. Seoul underworld swallows people. Your mansion was safe house. You used my nephew as cover. His voice dangerous. I healed him. Her voice steel. 6 months silent. Now he speaks. Plays list. Trusts again. You going to execute me for that? Jae-sung leans forward. Those shooters tonight. Serbian weapons. Not Hassang. Abuja text on your phone. Wrong kid. Explain. Joan exhales. Abuja, 13 months ago. Protected North Korean. Defector with uranium intel. Ambushed. My 12-man team killed. I survived. Carried evidence they want destroyed. Proof North Korea armed African terror cells. Why my house? Clean background. Desperate client. Min-jun's trauma matched kids I deprogrammed. Music my therapy post Abuja. Thought I could help him and disappear. Jae-sung pulls burner phone photo. Her with Min-jun. Flowers. They have this now. They tracked me through agency. Used your mansion access. Joan meets his gaze. Tonight wasn't random. They wanted me. Min-jun collateral. Silence stretches. Jae-sung lights cigarette. Studies her. Scarred hands, now weapon hands. Teacher, now killer. Healer, now hunted. You saved his life tonight, he says finally. Mine too. Job requirement. Dry. Ji-hoon clears throat. Sir, bounty hunters inbound. Dark web chatter tripled since Abuja leak. They'll hit mansion again. Jae-sung stubs cigarette. Decision time. You're staying. Not request. Joan blinks. Excuse me? You move in. Full time. Train Min-jun. Train my guards. We hunt your hunters. He stands. Those scars on your hands earned them protecting children. Now you protect mine. Joan laughs, short, disbelieving. Mafia boss wants Nigerian army captain as nanny? Family. Jae-sung's voice drops. They killed my sister, nearly took my nephew. Abuja bastards threaten him. We end them. Joan studies him, sees devotion beneath predator. Min-jun's future in balance. Condition, she says. Min-jun's safety first. No using him as bait. No vendettas through him. Agreed. Second condition. She stands, meets his height. When it's over, we disappear. Clean. No traces. Jae-sung extends a scarred hand. Deal. She shakes it. First alliance forged in blood. Next morning. 7:14 a.m. Music room. Min-jun plays Claire de Lune. Joan beside him, not teaching, supporting. Jae-sung watches from doorway. First time openly. When Min-jun finishes, he turns. Play with me? Joan smiles. Rare expression. Slides beside him. 4 hands, one scarred, one small. Play Debussy together. Perfect harmony. Jae-sung exhales. Family healing before his eyes. 2 days later, training room. Joan instructs 10 guards in weapon retention. Disarms Ji-hoon in 4.2 seconds. They stare, awestruck. Again, she commands. Jae-sung watches corner, sees soldier reborn. Week 4, day 2. 2:17 a.m. Joan's burner buzzes. New text. Smart move. Mansion harder target. W1B now. 72 hours. Child's bedtime story will be his obituary. Abuja. Photo. Min-jun sleeping peacefully. Taken through window tonight. Joan forwards to Jae-sung. He arrives fully dressed, armed. They're watching. Always were. She racks her Glock. 3 days, they'll hit during recital. Min-jun's first public performance since murder. Carnegie Hall, Seoul. 200 guests. Perfect soft target. Jae-sung nods. We end them there. That evening, library. Min-jun brings Joan and Jae-sung hot chocolate. Sits. Between them on couch. First voluntary family moment. Will you come to the recital? He asks Joan shyly. Front row. She ruffles his hair. Jae-sung watches them. Realizes something dangerous. He'd kill for this. For her. For them. Final scene. Jae-sung's bedroom. 11:47 p.m. He can't sleep. Joan's words echo. When it's over, we disappear. But now, he doesn't want her gone. Wants her here. With Min-jun. With him. Downstairs, faint piano notes. Joan practicing alone. Rachmaninoff, haunting. He rises, goes to music room, watches her through crack in door, eyes closed, lost in music, scarred hands beautiful on keys. She senses him, stops playing. Can't sleep. Thinking. He enters. About your deal, disappearing. She tenses. Terms were clear. New terms. He steps closer. Stay, after Abuja. Train Min-jun for Juilliard. Be family. Joan laughs softly. Mafia boss wants picket fence? Want you. Simple, raw, silence, piano between them. Min-jun upstairs dreaming. Bounty hunters circling. She studies him. Dragon tattoo. Killer's eyes. Father's heart. Dangerous offer. Impossible man. Perfect fit. One condition, she whispers. What? Kiss me like you mean it. He does. Cue fade out on passionate kiss. Gunshots echo distantly outside. Then part 2 begins. If you made it this far, you're family. Like if Team Joan and Jae-sung forever. Comment your country. Subscribe for the next part. Recital Massacre. This is Soul Heart Stories. Stay dangerous.